Hello guys and welcome to the next episode of Plum. And what am I going to be doing in today's episode, guys? And in today's episode I'm going to be continuing with the expansion of my power system. But not entirely, I'm hoping to get this done, by the end of the episode. I'm not planning to do masses more with the power system. I think once it gets to a point where it becomes sustainable and it's all working fine, then I will be happy to leave it. But I think at the minute in its current state in the last episode, I don't think we left it in a state where it's fit to continually operate. I think we're not producing enough resin, and if I'm honest, I want to remedy that problem. And the best way I can remedy that problem at the minute is by increasing our resin production. So we have 2 trees set outside, and what I'm quite happy to do is run the fluid ducts, or run some more arboreal extractors out and some fluid ducts to double our production of resin. So hopefully we can, burn our way through a bit more. We can extract a bit more resin out of the trees, basically. That's sort of my intention. So I'm going to stick 1, 2, 3, 4 guys around here. Let's stick the fluid ducts here. Actually, wait, no. I'm going to do exactly what I did on the other side. And I'm going to hook up the fluid ducts underneath. This butterfly is irritating me. Go away. In fact, oh, we've got morph? How long have we had morph? Have I just not noticed we've had morph this whole time? I think as long as if we have some sort of bat or something, that'll definitely mean that we won't have to worry about flight as much. So we can just go into bat mode and then not have to worry about it. And that was always sort of the low-key thing you could do with morph, is just rather than having to put an angel ring, you could just go into bat mode and then you had flight. So it definitely makes exploration easy once you get that morph. So what I'm going to do is make sure these guys are all connected, which they are. Dirt this up since I want it to look a bit neater. Hook these guys up there. And there's one last thing I'm going to need to do, and that is make sure these guys are set to output on the bottom. I believe, do these guys output on the bottom by default or not? I forget whether they do or not. No, they don't. I believe that's the bottom, isn't it? Yes. So one thing I'd forgotten from the last episode is that they output from the bottom. They don't output from the bottom by default. So there we go. They're all outputting from the bottom now. So we've now doubled our resin production essentially. So I can just basically get fields and fields and fields of these trees. I just basically have arboreal extractors just all next to them. And early game, I'd definitely say this is a really good way to sort your power out. All I need to do now is just hope and pray that fractioning still works quick enough. I don't know whether you can get any augments for it, because I think that will definitely be easier, rather than having a billion different augments. Rather than having a different bit. Yeah, so I can get augments for it. So if I look at augment, I believe you have to get, you have to put a frame over them to upgrade them from a basic. So if I type in frame, I think what we'll have to do is I'm going to have to look into this, guys, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I've had a look through the thermal expansion list, and I believe it's the upgrade kits that we need, and it says immediately your upgrades a block, and I believe this is the thing that we're actually going to need. So it's a pretty, basic thing. It just needs some Invar. Now, do we have any Invar? No, we don't have any Invar. Although I don't believe Invar is particularly expensive. In fact, what I'll do is I'll say upgrade kit. So I'll just use hardened ones to begin with, and Invar, I believe you can use an induction smelter for it. So you can use nickel and iron, which we don't have much nickel actually. So we could probably do with going mining for a bit of nickel at some point. I'm not going to convert all my iron and stuff into nickel. Do we get any nickel here? Yeah, we got some nickel here actually, so that's good. I believe all of our ores have now... Okay, they've not been processed. We got stuck here again with the quartz, which keeps happening, which is annoying. So what I'm going to do now is go in here and plonk some of these guys in. I might limit it off with the amount of iron actually, so there we go. So I'll create as much Invar as we can using that much. Wow. Okay, well, I suppose 3 ingots went in, so I suppose it's not... That's a fairly decent amount. Okay, we just need one more lot to cook up, and then we can make Well, in fact, we can make one hardened upgrade kit now, actually. So we need some. Also, it actually requires a bronze gear. Actually, I just assumed it was normal copper gear. Bronze, I believe, is in. You can use copper and tin. Obviously, which is craftable. It's not too shabby, actually. I think you can just straight up craft it without having to deal around with, you know, grinding them up or anything. That's pretty cool, actually. So I think I'm going to use a couple of upgrade kits, actually, and. Okay, what fell apart there? I believe that was our amount of Invar that we ran out of there. Yeah, that was the amount of Invar we had. So I'm going to stick a hardened upgrade kit into this thing, since I believe we are... Yeah, we're getting a bit of a backlog of resin, actually. We haven't really got anywhere to go with it. So I've upgraded it now, so I can now put some augments in it. So I don't think that they actually do any... It doesn't like work any better, I believe, if you just put an upgrade kit in. I believe all it does is allows you to then put some more upgrade slots in it. So if I put an upgrade slot in this guy, they're saying that he has actually increased to 60 RF a tick, which is actually pretty cool. Because I'm hoping with this thing is because we've got such a backlog of tree oil. I was hoping I'd just be able to make this guy go a bit quicker. So if how do you make a reinforcement? You need electrum, which I believe it's just straight up silver and gold. So that's actually not the end of the world. What gear do you need to make it though? You need a silver gear and some fused glass, which is used. How do you make fused glass? So you can use hardened glass from them. Okay, that's very expensive. I'm sure there must be an easier way to make it. It says accept any blocks with glass hardened. So you said hardened. You can make hardened copper glass, tin glass. But it all requires like pyrotheum dust. Okay. It says it accepts fused glass. Okay, so normal fused glass is, I don't want it coloured, I just want normal fused glass. Dark fused glass. Why is just normal fused glass? It's best painted with white. I don't want it painted though, I just want normal fused glass. I was hoping by just spamming rapidly I'd be able to get to a recipe for it. Yeah, there must be a recipe to get it without it being... Alright, I think I'm not going to have a look, guys, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so I'm still no closer at figuring out how to get this fused glass. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it out for now. And, you know, I'm going to get another compression dynamo. Since I believe just having another compression dynamo, it'll have the same effect anyway. So I'm not really too worried about the fact that we weren't able to, you know, we weren't able to get the first time. But, you know, I'm not overly worried, like I said, because this will essentially do the same job as what having the upgrade kit on it would have done, just by having an extra dynamo with another hardened upgrade kit. So if I get a hardened upgrade kit with another bronze gear, what are we missing out? Oh, we're missing out on Invar again? Yeah, we're missing out on Invar, I presume. Iron. How much iron do we have? Don't tell me we've run out of iron again. If we've run out of iron again, I will be quite annoyed actually. And I believe, nope, we have iron there. Wow, I got pretty scared and I was like, please don't tell me we've run out of iron. And like, you know, I'll have to do another bloody mining trip. Okay, where did it end up? I just did I not put the iron in? Nope. I put the iron away, didn't I? Let's see, so let's stick the iron in there. I'm not sure which metal you need more of, either the iron or the nickel. But anyway, let's plonk this guy down and let's get some fluid ducts and stuff in him. Although if I'm honest, I'm going to need the flux ducts as well. So 1, 2, 3, perfect. I'm not quite sure how well this is going to work out. 1, 2, 3. That's him getting some oil as well. I don't know how well it's going to be distributed out. Wow, we appear to be full on that as well. Wow, I'm amazed, guys. We're actually, you know, burning, and we appear to have reached an exact number of these as well. That's perfect. So we ran out of those perfectly. So now both of these guys are getting fluids. That's amazing, guys. So yeah, these guys are now working both at full efficiency. Well, they're working at full efficiency once I get enough of another one of these guys. When this guy gets some invar, that is. Here you go. Have some invar. Have it on me. So hopefully this guy should work a little bit quicker now. So he's getting invar and stuff. So he's just gonna pump his RF and stuff into here. This guy is running, although I think, if I'm honest, the tree oil seems to be the most effective way of powering them, rather than using the rosin. Because the rosin seems to be fairly, it doesn't seem to be very quick. Although, if I was with the upgrade, it seems to run out very quickly. That's what I mean. So this guy appears to be working pretty decently, actually. So he's got a decent amount of power, and he seems to be getting resin every now and again, which is cool. And then he also has enough resin to then. I believe he seems to get it. He seems to get it in batches, but he's now definitely keeping on top of the amount. He's not, lagging behind or anything. So I don't need to get second fractioning still. He's just the single one there. He's working pretty well. These compression dynamos, I'm worried about how much tree oil we're actually wasting here. So if I'm honest, I'm actually tempted to say, let's get another compression dynamo, just due to how much we're actually using, and probably a better energy cell, because I believe. I'm going to go and get another. I think you can put upgrade kits on the energy cells. I believe you can anyway. I'm possibly talking rubbish, but if I look up energy cell. Yeah, I believe you can only start with a basic one now. You don't have to, get like a really expensive frame or anything. You can just stick an upgrade kit onto a basic energy cell. So if I look at hardened energy kit, we're going to need to use the last of our bronze, I do believe. Well, maybe not the last of our bronze, but almost the last of our bronze. And let's stick this guy on here. And he's now holding 8 million RF, which is pretty cool, actually. So, if we have power problems, it's not going to be the end of the world anymore. So what I might do is, I'm going to get this guy synced up. And I'm going to get some more power system going. They're called compression dynamos, aren't they? So compression dynamo. I think I'm gonna get one more, guys. I know I said I would be done with power this episode. I was hoping so, but I think the power system is looking like it needs a little bit more TLC before we can call it done. Which hopefully this episode definitely should be done. We shouldn't have any other reason to touch our system for at least for a while after we've done all these upgrades and stuff. So I'm gonna get some more fluid ducts. And also gonna get one last whoops. I think I need some more bronze. So let's get this guy, this guy, this guy. So yeah, we did use the last of our bronze up. Okay, let's stick that guy there. Bronze gear and upgrade kit. Voila. When we have some more invar, of course. There need to be something holding us back. But anyway, for the time being, I'm gonna stick this guy down. Connect him up with these, and I'm gonna be honest, guys. I am actually amazed at how much of this tree oil is actually being utilized. Because with this setup, I thought it would be the rosin that would actually be working like the best, and it'd just be the tree oil that it's just like a happy byproduct. But it seems that the rosin's the happy byproduct this time, and we're actually mainly using up all the tree oil as fuel. Because I haven't really got any other use for tree oil, at least at the minute. I mean, I presume, it does have other uses in the game. I'm not just going to assume that that's like the only thing you can use tree oil for. So I guess this guy's now upgraded, and wow, they're all full of tree oil. I think what I might do is actually use a tank as a buffer. Since this is the final thing I want to do to it really is I just want to get a... I don't want a blood magic tank, I just want a portable tank. Which uses quite clear glass. And this is the recipe where I can never seem to actually get the recipe for it, so it's really irritating. I mean, I believe we have you can just use normal glass, I believe, if you use this portable tank. And a redstone servo. And portable tank, voila. So I believe the line comes up here. So here's the actual fluid duct line, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sever the connection here. Because like I said, I want it to run through a buffer before it goes off to all the engines. And I might have the buffer, I might place the buffer here. So the... Whoops, no, that's not what I want it to do at all. Okay, I need this guy to just drain. I'm not entirely sure. Can you just drain them like into nothing? I believe if I put a fluid duct underneath it, and then break the fluid duct, there we go. That's a good way to get it to drain. So I need to stick a fluid duct here, but not have it connect with the fluid duct above it. So I need this guy to not connect at all there, and then there we go. I can then set this guy there. Okay, he's got a back loop for now. There you go. So there's no water in that bit, and then all the water's now gone into there. Voila, there we go. No more water problems. So I can have the water come in through here, and I believe that has again created a backlog. I don't want that. I don't want these guys to specifically connect, so I want them to run as separate lines. So I can have that run there, and then they're not connected again. So by right-clicking them with a crescent hammer, you can then stop them from connecting. There you go. I think this should serve now as a pretty decent buffer actually to our tree oil system. I believe we're now burning up tree oil quicker than we're producing it. So, you know, I'm actually going to whack the aqueous accumulator again. I wonder if the aqueous accumulator is actually producing enough water anymore, because I know now it's limited just to one block. I'm not sure if that is... Yeah, that's not going to be enough actually. We're not giving these guys any water anymore, which is going to be a bit of a problem given that they're running non-stop. So I'm going to have to get the water to flow this way and have the actual water go around here. And I think this is going to be the way to do it. So let's get our trusty old bucket, stick the fluid duct away. And do we have the infinite water source anymore? No, we don't, god darn. But there we go. And that's now going to serve a purpose. Aqueous accumulator should now have plenty of water. And I believe... Okay, I've just thrown my sword. Where did the sword go? Went down here. Whoops. Apologies guys, that was a plum derp. Okay, I can whack that tank again, I believe. There we go. So I'm pretty happy with that, guys. So we don't actually have anything in the buffer at the minute, but as you can see, all of these guys have a nice amount of tree oil. I believe most of it is just going to get stored in the lines, which seems to happen with fluid ducts. They seem to sort of have their own like sort of storage buffer. So I could have realistically left like this alone. It probably wouldn't have backlogged, but it was just in case. You know, so we've now got plenty of oil in the lines. So yeah, we've got a bit of a storage tank now just in case they ever got full, so we're not going to have to worry about that anymore. These are all happily burning the tree oil. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with our power system now, guys. And if I'm honest, guys, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap the episode up here. I think, you know, we have made a lot of progress over the last few episodes. I know what, we're on like episode 11 now. I think we have pretty much done 3 episodes just completely doing the power system. But if I'm honest, I'm happy with it. I think I'm going to go and... Yeah, off camera I did plant some sugarcane. I found some and I figured, you know, I might as well plant it. And so we have a decent supply of paper and stuff. So we'll go and replant the sugarcane. So I think we have pretty much hit a nice wrapping up point for the episode though. So I'll just sort of recap what we've done over the last 3 episodes for power. I think hopefully I shouldn't have to touch the power system anymore, besides... You know, maybe when we have a greater need for power, maybe getting some more arboreal extractors and stuff and putting them around some more trees. But I think for now, you know, 8 arboreal extractors around 2 trees is definitely giving us enough resin for what we can use. From which I'm almost tempted to, with our steam setup, I'm very almost tempted just to kind of, you know, go, you know, let's just leave it and let's just go down to 1 engine. Because if I'm honest, we're definitely not getting enough rosin to sort of keep us going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mine that out a little bit. There we go. I think what I might do is cover this up just a little bit. There we go. Then I'll get one more piece of cobblestone, and there you go. That should... Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool, actually. I think I like the fact that we've now got a little tank there sort of showing us how much oil we've got. I mean, I know from initial glance it looks like we have absolutely nothing. but of course, like I said, a lot of it stores in the actual fluid ducts themselves. So we've got a nice happy system going here. I'm hoping that if I left this thing running like permanently, I'm hoping that this thing would get full, the engines would turn off, and we'd end up just getting a backlog of stuff happening. But if I'm honest, I'm very happy for that to happen. As like, once we have a power demand again, it'll then just run like through again. So hopefully, we're pretty much having like a fully renewable power source here. Like initially I was thinking of going with oil and stuff, but then I realised that I looked in the engineering manual, and I don't think this version of Immersive Engineering, or I'm not sure if it's an add-on or whatever to actually get it, but we don't actually have a tab for oil. And because in certain mod packs I've seen people play around with like oil and stuff, so they get like a pump jack or whatever, put it down, and they get lots of oil and stuff to play around with. I think that would be pretty cool. But if I'm honest, like, I don't think it's actually in the Dollar 20 pack, or if it is, I haven't unlocked it, or I'm just being a complete noob as usual, which wouldn't surprise me if that's true, actually. I do have my derpy moments every now and again. So I think I'm going to wrap up the episode here, guys. And like I said, I'm very happy with the power system we've got. We're getting plenty of power now. Well more than we're going to need for any time soon. We're generating. Ignoring these engines, and so these engines are very temperamental. We pretty much get the odd bit of rosin every now and again, and get 40 and get 8,000 RF out of it. But these all running, these give us 180 RF per tick. And early game, that is definitely going to be more than enough for what we're going to need. I mean, we probably are, like, these machines, I don't know how much RF these guys use a tick. They don't actually show you until you're doing stuff. In fact, I'll try and demonstrate how much power we use. So, assuming everything's on, so this guy uses 20 RF a tick just at the basic rate. But if I'm honest, I am probably going to get some upgrades and stuff in these guys to make them run a little bit more efficiently. So I'm going to stick that guy in there to smelt up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get some, just say a couple of pieces of iron. So currently with everything operating at max capacity, so what the induction smelter, the pulverizer and the furnace on, we are still, inputting a massive amount of RF compared to what we're taking out. And this guy can now also input and output 4,000 RF per tick. But that is going to be limited by the energy conduits we're using, because these are all leadstone conduits. I think I'm not sure what their flow rate is, but I know it's obviously, it's not as good as hardened. But I'll upgrade that if and when we need to. And I mean, for now, early game, I think we're doing pretty fine for power. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. Goodbye from Plum.